See,
Right,
the tyranny is real. The tyranny is real.
Right, just for Bear. Right, just for Bear. I've redone it, and it's now transmitting again. Okay. So, welcome to the invisible people watching on the Grim Reaper Network.
Invisible people. I feel like I should know more about this.
Gotta head out anyway. About that.
No, it's fine for the record. Sasquatch can talk on his own for hours.
Oh, yeah, I could sit and play with myself with a penny for hours.
Yeah,
All right,
it's a light entertainment.
you guys have a good day.
Yeah, cheers, pal. Thanks for coming up. I really do appreciate it. I shall speak to you, no doubt, later.
Yes, I put my email.
I've got your email address now. I've sent you an email, so you know it's me later when I do send you an email. But yeah, I want to move away from YouTube and have some serious conversations where I can say what I want. Never mind anybody else. And the trolls can come in, they can do whatever they like. I don't give a shit over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't do anything to me. So, and you know what? If they clip it, I can always put a strike in.
That's right.
No such thing as fair use, allegedly.
All right, take care, man.
All right, take care. Cheers now. Bye for now. Northwoods, you staying?
Down.
You're dropping down as well.
Done? Are you done? Or
no?
You
still going?
Continue.
Still going to continue.
Right.
I'll
stay on that.
If I go silent, it's only. Yeah, I've got beef. I'll go order food.
Everybody's just going to sit here and talk over each other to be great.
I'll be here.
Caucasian. My friend Snowy.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I'm even under my own picture and stuff. Like I'm me.
Yeah, it's not like you to be you.
Well, I mean, I got a little sketchy on a horse, and I can't, you know how I am about bands and stuff. I go with it.
Well,
spirit of the thing and everything, you know.
Oh, Northwoods has dropped down doing breakfast. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to come up that's lurking, or if you want to say something, so long as it's within terms of service, not an issue.
Well,
in the meantime, I'm going to hand the show over to Caucasian for a while.
Is that
Caucasian?
Yeah, y'all had spawned the freaking language, but none of y'all can speak it.
Don't get it.
Speak what?
English.
Are you trying to insult the
No,
English
I
language?
think I succeeded quite squarely.
Well, yes, you have. You're speaking. Now, where is it you're from? What part of America is it?
The South.
The South. Texas.
Georgia.
They really bugged me, man. I'm like, why can't you just say aluminium properly?
No, I've had that conversation.
I can say aluminium properly. I just don't.
Yeah,
No,
but you wouldn't
didn't.
say that in a conversation. If you were like, go get my aluminium ladders. You wouldn't say that. You'd be like, my aluminum.
I say aluminum so that people can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. If I'm talking to an educated individual, it might come out as aluminium because I'll be quoting some English bastard.
Say aluminium, nothing else, just aluminium a second.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Yeah.
No, it's aluminium.
And so's your mama, but I don't talk about her all night.
You dumb
I
fuck.
don't like it.
Jeez, outlaw. Be back in a second, guys. Keep going.
Or like, why semi and not just semi? Semi. It's like
because when you have a semi,
exaggerated.
when you have a semi, that's a half chub. Semi rides down the road, but a semi is in my pants.
Fair enough. That's a fair reply.
Okay, multi rather than multi.
Okay, because we learned our multiplication tables, everything is multi. It's just multitask, multi this, multi that, multi that's all the shit.
Yeah, but a lot of Americans say multi.
I heard, dude, I heard a woman break her damn self trying to say Worcester sauce. Great dude. She went into that thing. I seen her set. She went, I'm just trying to find a little bit of. And then the next thing I know, we needed to call an ambulance. She done injured herself trying to get that shit out. Work what's this shit? What work work and the guy kept saying, I know what you're talking about. I got you. Reached over, picked up the bottle, set it on the table. She's still trying to say it. It was beautiful, dude. I loved it.
Well, I have problems saying words.
Sure. But this is a South Georgia black woman in a Waffle House asking for Worcester sauce.
Oh, so she has dyslexia in the mouth.
Yeah. She just didn't. That was the thing that was never actually going to happen in the first place.
Bloody Yanks have to be so literal. Pavement sidewalk.
Hey, but y'all
why don't just call it a path?
Y'all drive on a driveway and park on a parkway. That's the most brilliant thing I've ever fucking heard. You have a motorway. Any old thing that go putt go down that bitch. That's brilliant, dude. A roundabout, it goes around here and about there. That's brilliant, dude. These things are solid.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
You don't know what a roundabout is. You probably never seen
what you call them in America if you don't call it a roundabout.
We got like 5 or 6 of them that's been installed around here in the past couple of years, and they range between roundabouts to like the big ones, the loop things. So I've seen all that shit. Like I'd never seen it before, and I went to Dublin and found one and just rode around it for a while because there wasn't nobody using it. Everybody had changed. Everybody went
Get confused.
You're trying to tell me that like roundabouts are like alien in America?
Well, we have
between.
We have so much space. If we want to make a intersection less dangerous, we just move the freaking road.
Yeah, that's also a fair point.
Yeah.
Now, when we get to cities, typically we do run into tight spots, and so roundabouts. And what are the big ones called? They're different. It's not really a roundabout, though.
Well, it is if it's on the road.
I'd love for an American to drive round Spaghetti Junction or something.
You know what really messes with Americans, though? The damn thing goes to the right instead of the left.
You're going to love this. I come back from the States. The day after I land, right, I've got to drive down the M6
Big up
through Spaghetti Junction, right, to get over to Swansea. Not Swansea, Cardiff, right? Now, I'm not sure whether I'm just being totally mad or insane because I'm giving myself less than 24 hours to get used to UK time again.
That's going to be a little wild.
Start driving.
That's going to be a little wild. Dude, just going from here to Texas is significant. That's just
well, we're only talking a 5-hour drive, but you know
that will be the exact amount of time that you'll need to adjust. So, yeah,
that's true. You need to check out the Magic Roundabout, man.
Oh yeah, Dylan's great.
It's just outside Hemel Hempstead. Try that one, man. Fuck you now.
Well, we actually named a TV show for kids the Magic Roundabout.
What I'm saying is every type of roundabout y'all have exists here in America in various places because we steal everything from everyone and throw it somewhere and go, it might work.
They have spaghetti junctions all over the place. I was watching a video exiting Boston.
That's a good too. Check out Atlanta there. Hold on, let me bring it up. I'll bring up Atlanta if somebody can poke the button backstage.
All your cars over there, man, are so much bigger than ours as well.
So's the road.
Air conditioning. I doubt every house in America has one. The missus is saying, do all houses in America have air conditioning?
Most, I'd go as high as 70%, although a lot don't admit it. They have window units and whatnot.
Yeah.
So on the paper, they'll say they don't have air because when the government asks if you have air conditioning, they're actually asking if you have a central control unit. So a window unit doesn't qualify. A space heater doesn't qualify.
Mm.
So there's a lot of really weird things about the way that type of stuff is quantified in the U.S. in that, like, a fireplace doesn't count as any type of anything. That is a neutral thing as far as warming a house is concerned. But a fake fireplace on the paperwork drops your retention, your insulation value by like 4 points over the entire build. Fake one. Reason being,
there's loopholes.
There are, but the reason that is the case is that when you build a fake fireplace, you actually have to build it fireproof because some idiot is eventually going to try to build a fire in it. This is America.
He's talking from personal experience, sir.
I am talking like within 72 hours of opening this house to the owner, we got a phone call back. It was like he tried to build a fire in his fireplace. Can you go over there and fix it? Yeah. Okay. All right.
You know what? Actually, we're having this conversation.
Not a fireplace, because it was pretty. It was real pretty.
But it was.
It was for a moment.
Don't you love the way he says pretty? Pretty.
Grim, can you remember the stop, look, listen when crossing the road? Yeah.
Oh yes, with the green cross.
They've changed it now to stop, look, listen, think. What's happened in 20 years that we now need to tell kids to fucking think?
Sorry, mate. Are you wanting to bring something up?
Yeah, that's a picture of one side of Spaghetti Junction in Atlanta.
Oh, that's easy compared to Spaghetti Junction.
Yeah, that's well easy, isn't it? That's all on separate individual roads.
This is at like 65, 70 miles an hour, and no one in this motherfucker's going less than 90. Well, that's what makes this confusing. You have 6.3 seconds to figure out how many lanes you have to change where on what. And dude, you best be with it.
Now Google the magic roundabout UK. Or England. Yeah, type in the magic roundabout in England. See what it comes up with, other than the fucking cartoon.
Oh God, that's worse. I'll do.
You look, it'll be like, my head hurts. I do go back.
There you go.
I think it's just outside a place called Hemel Hempstead.
That would definitely help.
I'm watching the screen and listening. I'm just ordering some food.
What are you ordering?
Fuck that. Just fuck that.
Don't know yet.
Sir,
He's
no,
in it.
No, sir. No part of that shit. Dude, we do that in the sky. See, we have more space. That's what I'm saying. We have more room. When we have a problem with a road, we just move the freaking road. We call up the guy who owns the land. We're like, hey, we want to put a road over there. He's like, no. He's like, we'll give you the land over here. Okay. Because the land over here.
Junction in Birmingham. Google that. Get a picture of that.
Spaghetti Junction, I don't think is as bad, but it's still a pain.
That is nightmarish, dude.
You've never tried driving on it.
I'm sure there's another road that goes around or series of roads that don't do that. We can get there, dude. It's no problem. We just drive
around Spaghetti Junction. Actually, it's yeah. So it's a bit of a ball ache.
And where's Spaghetti Junction? Birmingham?
Birmingham, yeah.
Okay. Birmingham, UK. Let's be specific. Ain't too bad. I mean, that's weird, but all of that's left-hand stuff. So I'll probably crash absolutely everything in the process.
We're waiting to hear
possible.
the Grimm's crashed when he goes to America.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not too bad. I mean, where Grimm's going, most of the people are used to driving in winter at this point, and so most normal people will be driving normally. There will be rednecks, however. I don't know what to tell you about that. But then again, no one does. So that is pretty wild, though. But you see, you got a straight shot through here that and the method of getting off of one onto the other. I see. So you've got an interchange of what's this, 2? Spaghetti Junction in Atlanta is actually 3 interstates. The 2 interstates coming in, one coming in from the north, actually maybe 4, come to think of it. One comes in from north, south, the other comes in from east, west. But that's where 16 starts up. So a totally new interstate heads to Miami from there.
That from looking down at it, it looked dead easy.
No, it's just saying that's crazy as hell, dude. I see the problem.
But driving it, different kettle of fish.
How about
if you end up taking the wrong turning, you better hope that you can turn around at the next turn off very easily. Yeah.
That's another thing. When you run into one of these places in America, the only place we do things like this are places where the space has been purchased and it's too expensive to purchase more space by the state to expand the road in a way that makes sense. And so this madness ends up happening. But when you miss one in America, unless you know what's at the very next exit or two, you need to just go to fuck on out of town and find a dead exit to turn around in, somewhere that's just a normal crossover that you can just do the normal stuff with, because this happens in the middle of cities. And the different interchanges to get on and off the interstate in the city might be absurd, even more absurd than this. There's one or used to be one in Savannah that was a 3/4 corkscrew to go back the way the interstate is coming to get on a road that goes straight into Savannah, right? People liked that road so much that every time they tried to shut it down, there would be a public outcry. And so they ended up shutting it down for a week and building this weird half corkscrew into it. The following week, 36 drivers crashed their cars trying to make that corkscrew at 75. That road has never been a 65 or 75 mile an hour zone. Ever. Not ever. There was never a reason to be going 70 there. They got all that crap fixed now, mostly. Last time I went through there, it was a straight shot. I was able to hit a transfer. It's a much lazier Spaghetti Junction. It's spread out over miles. Because they got marshes and stuff down there, they kind of got to go from high spot to high spot. So instead of having a Spaghetti Junction that's inside a 5 square city block area, wow, I'm impressed on that one. Geez, you'll end up in another time zone if you're not careful on that thing.
They brought something in here some years ago now called smart motorways, and fucking hell, they're the shittest thing in the world, man. They'll have you doing fucking 50 mile an hour for miles.
I got you, dude. I got one. I got a better one. South Carolina does something called I can't remember. It's like progressive planning or something like that. It's got a really innocuous sounding name. What it means though is you have interchanges that are spread out over miles. And so you may actually end up crossing into oncoming traffic with nothing but a white line between you and the oncoming traffic. There'll be like a stop sign or something over there. You'd be driving along, all of a sudden there's a whole wall of traffic coming straight at you, but they don't hit you because they wait until you go by. They're supposed to. But they what? No. What about the drunk guy? That drives me crazy. It's only certain counties in South Carolina that do that, and I think a couple in North Carolina too, but they are really weird when you drop off into them because they've eliminated almost all of like the T intersections. All of these are gone unless it's one of these. This don't happen. And so these have been chopped out and have turned into weird little mini spaghetti junctions. It's so weird. Once you get used to it, it's not too bad. You just want to cruise through it. You know.
I'm not too sure what he means by that.
No, I don't. Untrackables. Thank you for dropping by. If you want to come up, the link has been posted.
You get the impression that everybody hates you.
Hang on. Seems to be two lives on this on at the same time. Damn it, this is strange. Are you referring to my life and also Bears? There's a reason for that. I can't remember the reason. There is a reason for it.
There's a reason for that. We're strange.
Yeah, I'm very strange. That's why Poseidon, Sasquatch, and I always say it deliberately wrong these days. And Bear, we are strange people.
You know what Jim Morrison said, right?
You're going to tell me.
People are strange. You're stranger.
I was waiting for it. Actually, I'm not strange. It's everybody else that's strange.
It's a very weird world we live in. Everybody's so odd.
Well, talking of odd people, Sasquatch, nice of you to be here.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Join the rest of the oddities.
I was just asking a question just a minute ago. A question.
The accents.
How long?
How long?
Be live.
How long is the live?
Yeah.
Until it ends.
Oh, dearie me. And Bing.
You want me to share that blank page? Yeah.
No, not yet. It's crashing.
Okay.
Damn it. Bing has gone the way of the dinosaur, yo. Like, this is terrible. This is really bad. I don't know what that last update did, but it is wildly unstable.
Oh, that's untrackable.
When I do my...
in return, I will... Hang on. In return, as I say, if you do want to come up, it's a fast-moving show, this, to say the least. I know you # never sleep. You're welcome to come up. You know that. If you get a word in edgeways with Snowy here, then fine, no problem.
I would be more impressed than upset.
I can always get him to shut up, believe me. I was just putting backstage.
I forgot what I was doing. What was I doing?
I have no idea. You said it was crashing.
Yeah, no.
Whatever you're doing, it was crashing.
I had to restart it back up. Like the Bing, it's trash. It's they did an update a couple of days ago, and ever since then, it's like depending on. It's really weird. You type into the search bar what you want to search, and then Bing says it's taking too long and hands it over to some AI who asks you more details on it. And I'm like, who invited you? I'm willing to wait.
Hang on a second. Bing is not a Microsoft thing.
Yep.
That explains why I don't use it.
I get it, but I need something that works fluidly with StreamYards and with the share features on a couple of other things, and the sound works. But my Brave browser, when I try to use Brave to do a screen share like this, the sound is trash. It's bad. Oh. So I've been through several, and Bing has the most what's the word? Fidelity, I guess.
What about Duck?
Bad sound. I think they're too closely related to Chrome somehow, because I know when if your StreamYards is in Chrome and you share something from another Chrome window, StreamYard will either attempt to regulate the sound or will attempt to echo cancellate the sound so that the window doesn't interfere with your stream, not realizing you're trying to share the sound too.
Okay,
and it's
fair enough.
trash. It just makes the sound so bad. But then Bing has really good sound, but is a little less than reliable. It's kind of unstable.
Right. Well, I'm going to stay on this live until my food arrives because I'm not going to eat and be live at the same time. I like to enjoy my food. That just means I'll just mute up.
Yeah,
I'll leave it going. I mean, I trust you all. You know that. Flow State's in the building. Hello.
How's that possible?
How's Flow State? Well, Flow State is probably nipped onto Grim Reaper and it's come up and now he's seeing you. You know, stars together, flock together. I like some of the conversations Flow State has.
Bro, all right. So and there's no way to do this. There's absolutely no way to do this. It can't be done. Let me be clear about that at the very outset. But it would be really cool, right? If there was some way to eliminate certain individuals as topics, if we could just remove the people from all of that, and it would be a freaking awesome show every single time. The thing is, you have such hardcore haters that just want to use his show as a platform to come up and hate somebody.
Well, yeah. I get that.
I don't know how you would filter that. You'd have to have an iron disciplined hand and just knock everybody down that tries it. But then again, if you're going to have a lolcow, if you're going to, I'm going to use the word, although it's not quite accurate, exploit an idiot online for money.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about yourself then for a second. Then you mentioned money. Sorry.
Accurate. No, that's 100% accurate. Uh-huh. Look how pasty fell I am. You see these weird look like bruises under my eyes. That's sunburn.
Is that what you call it?
That is no bullshit. That is sunburn. I didn't know. It took me a day to realize what it was. I bought a light kit for my truck and it was cloudy the other day. And I went out and installed the light kit, not really thinking about it. I just went and did it. Didn't get hot, didn't stop, just did it the whole time. And then the next day I went out and finished up the last little bit of stuff. That afternoon I come in and look at myself and I look like a freaking raccoon, bro.
Hi, Miss Love. Good to see you. I'm losing track. Doing your windows. Flow State Outlaw. If you want to come up, that's fine. If you don't have to. But there you go. There's a link. Put that out there for you. Bear's muted for some unknown reason, best known to himself. I've got Snowy here trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, we're working on it. I've got a bunch of like pent-up angst from having a week's ban, and I haven't even done a live stream on my channel yet.
Ooh.
look at this. Look at this madness. Look at this madness. I have.
There's a message for you from Flow State. Flow State.
Why is it not?
Those lights must be bright. Well, I think he's talking to you. I mean, I just got my eye.
No, there he is. I see him now. No, it's I wasn't parked in the garage. I was out from under the garage and I was just out there, drilling holes, sealing everything up, doing it properly. And I stood in the sun for 6 hours straight without realizing it. I got a burned part down the middle of my hair because when I put my hair in the ponytail, it had a distinct part. So I have a burned section down the middle of my skin.
That's one of the reasons why you cover it. Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense.
I have a
Mr. Chips versus some auditors, really?
Just some of them? What's wrong with the rest?
Wow, that whistle. Is he putting the wrong teeth? No, piss off. There's a whistle for you.
Every time it happens, I think about the mole from Christopher Robin in the 100 Acre Woods, Winnie the Pooh. Come on, hey, what's going on here? You know that guy.
Now what's this? Yeah, fine. Yeah, jump on, no problem. Flow states, by the way, that occasionally I get the occasional troll in, just to protect you from any blue. I made you blue as well. You know, I like to make sure that everyone's covered over on the network, because I always ask people to leave their shit at the door, their own shit at the door, but you never know. Sometimes.
What if it's stuck to my ass hair? Can I bring that with me? Because like it's hard to get off.
You can do whatever the fuck you like. I don't mind.
Excellent.
As long as it's in the realms of decency.
Okay.
Some decency.
What's the hate towards orders, man? Why?
Just say some.
I know, but some.
Okay, let me make a distinction right here before we get started. There's a lot of people who take all auditors and lump them into the same group, regardless of what they're actually doing. You have to judge each channel individually. You have auditors out there that go and put packages outside of places to guarantee a police response to a place so that they can show up, show their ass, and the police are already uptight. And it's like, oh, look at how stressed out these cops are. If there's no threat, there's nothing going on, you know. And of course, cops show up all in high freaking frame of mind and start oppressing people's rights.
Well, I don't agree with leaving packages around.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The problem I have with, hang on, before you go and you say that, the problem I have with that is that I lived through a lot of bombings within the UK and Great Britain. And I just don't believe that is right in any way, shape, or form.
It's not right. And I don't give a damn what anyone anywhere has lived through. That is a bomb threat that's unspoken, but it is a threat. And it is specifically designed to trigger certain types of cops to show up to a certain type of event in a certain frame of mind so that a perfectly quote unquote innocent auditor can walk over and make them look like asses without any effort. Then there are people like
Trackables referring to your comments earlier on about shaving your ass.
Then there are auditors like Truth Be Told who walk over. They're perfectly courteous. They're nice as they can be, and the cops are still assholes. Those are auditors. Those are cop watchers. The other people are just aimless grifters who have found a way to make cops pay.
I mean, I kind of guess.
Well, the thing is, one person does an illegal activity in order to elicit a legal response in order to profit from that response in a way that leads to a certain frame. You know what I mean? A certain narrative of the situation. Cops bad, okay? The other one is merely observing their public officials in action. One should get a response and an aggressive one. The other should just be another Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? One's a fraud auditor and one is a legitimate auditor cop watcher. They're actually doing the thing.
Yeah, I get it. What about those that aren't auditing the police and instead they're auditing, say, well, I've done a couple today, let's say commercial buildings.
Right. Okay. NC Tyrant Hunter, interviewed him about 2-3 years ago. He does commercial auditing where he goes up to different places just off the property that are firmly within public filming grounds. He's very good at this, been doing it for years, and just makes people nervous. He doesn't scream at them. He doesn't beep his horn. He doesn't flash lights. He doesn't show up with packages or nothing like that. he just shows up, stands there, and he's kind of a creepy looking sort of dude. So it works, right? People call stuff, but what gets me are the people who run out, stand right in the middle of your camera, and say, "You can't film me without my permission." Well, it's funny you don't own the light, bro. I'm just picking up a little light. You can move on with yourself. A bit of aggression. Yeah, jail changes a man. I used to be black. Too far. Screw you. It's okay. Be all right.
Sorry, mate. I am here. I'm juggling.
Do your thing, dude. Do your thing. Do your thing. I'm doing my thing. You do yours.
Yeah, I'm in and out, at the moment. I'm still waiting for food to arrive.
Look, bro, I'm porking this chicken. Just hold the feathers and be quiet.
I'll shut your face. Listen, I've got as much respect for everybody, and I treat everybody with respect, provided they treat me with respect. And then occasionally you get Snowy here who just takes the piss.
Yeah, no, that's
fine.
Bro, not spoken. Opal's well. Not left, not right. Good to see you, man. Big up
Good
yourself.
to see you. Long time no see.
I'm more of an
anti.
Yeah.
Not anti.
That too. Well, no. In America, your auntie is what you put in at the poker game, and also your mother's sister or your father's sister. That's
spelled differently.
Okay, sure, but it's said the same way. And to clear up the confusion, it is anti.
No, it's not.
It has to.
If you're anti-establishment, you're anti-establishment, not anti-establishment.
You can be anti-establishment, but your mother's sister's name is probably not establishment.
Do you know? I wish you'd talk proper English like what I do.
What? Good, do it.
No one. I don't think many people actually give a fuck about their rights here in the UK. Either that or they're just fucking blind.
Listen, the UK and people standing up for their rights are so far behind the Americans, it's unbelievable. Why? Because we've got a prime minister that's so far up the president's ass. Sorry.
That he can smell the children too.
Well, allegedly.
Auditing channels in the UK. Let's take the auditing channels that actually go live. So, like live streaming auditing channels. Yeah. How many of those actually go live and ever talk about auditing?
Very few.
Very few.
And why is that? Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why. Because they're sitting around talking shit on their live streams brings them in more views than thing. And unfortunately, that's been completely fucking ruined by a bunch of fucking imposters that come into communities like this, try and ride off the back of people's coattails, and then, fuck up the whole shit.
All right. There are certain channels that I call topic syncs. I don't know how to explain what it is that they seem to do. And I've only recently noticed this, so my data might actually not be real. It might be just a local position, right? But it might be. There are some channels that attract a certain type of YouTuber, like take the People's Podcast TV. You've been up there. I'm pretty sure Flow State's been over there at least once. Bear, have you ever come across that one?
Yeah, Bear and I are on a regular basis.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But what you say?
I'm not saying it's a bad thing because it does have its benefits, but there are times when that channel turns into a topic sync, right? It's fine when it's topics that aren't,
I want to sound like a hypocrite because of what I just said, but sometimes it's funny, man. Like, listen, good, serious conversation's good, but like a bit of banter, a little bit of fucking shit talk. It's just how far that shit talk goes.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You get people, and I'm not a huge person to name drop, but I'm going to do it today, and I might not do it again ever again. Illumitani is a creator whose main shtick is coming on people's or wherever I've ever seen him he shows up on someone's channel, essentially berates and yells at everyone, talking over everyone constantly. And if I see him up, I just move on to somewhere where I can understand what's going on, because all I'm getting here is Illumitami screaming at some shit, and I'm not interested. So I move on. It's nothing against him. He can do what he wants to do. The panel creators can do what they want to do, and that's all fine. I'm just saying, as an observation, there's certain types of people who would rather hear what was happening than some random nut job over here spouting off about his transgender, over-sexualized panda bear or whatever. It's just a thing, you know? And so when I say certain channels become topic sinks, it becomes known that they're covering this topic tonight, but tomorrow everyone who wanted to talk about that topic yesterday show up over there to talk about that topic, but the actual panel has moved on to a different topic and they're doing something else, and these people come in and force the topic into what they want to talk about just by sheer numbers, you know, which is fine yet again. You know what I mean? If you want to run your panel that's way, that's fine. I'm just saying it's kind of a weird thing. I think, I don't know. Is it weird, or is that just normal? And I just haven't seen it before.
I think the problem is that you've always are going to have those who want to be heard over everything and force their opinion on people. There's a few people I can think of on the People's Podcast that do that, but it's set up so that everybody can say what they want to say, and this is where you get potential issues.
Is that not the best way? So then, if somebody's gonna make a fool of themselves, then it allows them to do that, right? They show themselves.
Sure. And I'm a big proponent of letting idiots talk until they prove themselves idiots, because
I do that all the time with him. I'll let him.
If I have a difference of opinion with someone, and you might notice I talk a lot. I talk all the time. I'm perfectly willing to share my opinions, but I'm not willing to share an opinion that I haven't verified with my own experience, at least, right? It would be really cool if my experience in the books I've read happened to agree, but if not, I can tell you about my experience and I can tell you what I read in books. None of this is fact. This is just experience. So it doesn't offend me when people tell me I'm full of shit and that it never happened and that's not a thing, because I don't have to prove it. It's just what I've experienced. And what's more real, your experience or mine? From my perspective, mine is. So go ahead with yours. You know?
We have this real sheepy mentality here in the UK, man, where you have to kind of like, you have to follow other people's opinions and shit, you know. It's like a little. That's how the auditing community turned into a cult, a little cult of people that claim, but like I say, none of them sit there and talk about auditing. None of them sit there.
I'll be back shortly.
All right, bud.
Or corruption within the establishment. It's let's just sit there and talk fucking shit
about each other.
About each other, right?
Right. And
those forums on the fact that that's the only way they can get their views. And it clearly is that those views mean a lot to them. Otherwise, they wouldn't. They'd stick to what they were in it for. But like I say, man, too many people have got into this bad habit of realizing, if I sit here and pull someone out and then let that person come on and we have an argument, that's always going to sell better than someone sat there trying to educate someone, unfortunately. And that doesn't just say something for those people that have those channels, but it also says a lot about the populace, all those people that, do you know what I mean? That's what they seek as well. Like, what the fuck?
It's a topic sync. That's what I'm saying. Flow State's channel is kind of like this, but it's so shotgun patterned that it's not really, because he'll get fed up with a particular topic and just like, anybody who mentions this again is getting off the panel. and that's it for the rest of the night. Anybody who's like, well, I just want to say about Ping gone. and that's awesome. That's really cool. to be able to drive a panel that way. Trying to control YouTubers is like herding cats, blind, deaf, dumb cats.
Yeah, it's frustrating, man, because there's a lot of auditing channels, and don't get me wrong, and I've been a part of it in the past, so I can't sit here like I'm white, right? But we've sat here and argued over who's got the fucking bigger dick for far too long. To the point where I think a lot of the viewer base as well around auditing in the UK, they're those that actually were interested in there for the right reasons. They've all fucked off, mate. They're all fucked off because no one can be asked with the shit that they have to endure every time one of them go live. You know what I mean? So now it's just kind of like they just don't bother. Or you know what they say, if you can't beat them, you might as well join them. So instead now, like I say, everyone's all about that shit talk, man. Let's go in and spin narratives about people. Let's try and, I don't know, just get kicks out. I've noticed a lot of people get kicks on here, yeah? Through the demise of others.
Yes.
Watching the demise of others, people get.
I can explain a little bit of that if you're interested. Before I became a YouTuber, I was a general troll. I would go to different forums, different websites, a lot on YouTube, and I would go in with 30 or 40 different profiles and show up as a massive segment of your viewer population. And through my very own by myself conversation could create these little hellscapes of panels that happen occasionally. And I'm not saying all panels, and I'm not saying I pick PP, what is it? People's Podcast TV because it's fairly prominent currently, and I approve of what homie's doing. He's got a great track record. He's doing well. I'm impressed he's lasted this long, but he's doing a good job with what he's doing. A lot of trash gets talked on panels like that it's not really necessary. But keep in mind, in America, we have this whole First Amendment thing, that freedom of speech bit. That freedom of speech applies to every American, every person in the continental U.S. So when you say something that upsets someone, they're supposed to allow that to happen and then say what upsets you. Disagreement and discussion is the purpose of the First Amendment, and attempting to shut down conversation or change definitions to words or moving goalposts, all of this is just methods of appearing to win an argument.
Yeah, I agree, man.
So without that First Amendment protection allotted to everyone, what you end up with is a government selected narrative that is capable of being spoken about. That's why I say I am a free speech advocate. YouTube is not a free speech platform. Anything that takes place in chat or on panel that is going to affect the channel is going to have to be dealt with immediately and succinctly. It's not my fault. That's YouTube's fault, because they wrote the terms of service. In order to be here, we have to abide by them. So regardless of what you want to share, regardless of what you want to say, if it breaks the terms of service, it's got to go immediately. Before immediately, I can't let you come up here and do it even accidentally.
I agree, man.
But that's not me. That's not my fault. It's not the people in chat's fault. It's not my moderator's fault. Blame YouTube. They're the one you should blame. If you have a problem with not being able to show people getting tased, blame YouTube. If you have a problem with not being able to show people getting doinked in the dong, blame YouTube.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I'm reading chat and it has gone off the reservation over here. I don't even know where it went. Because I'm suddenly interested. That's a good question. Does it purr? Sorry. ADD is coming out on me.
Anonymous, good question these days, but A woman has a pussy between her legs 24/7. Well, it depends who you ask these days. Depends who you ask these days, man. Gonna be
Right.
honest.
Right.
I mean, to be honest, Canada. I mean, I think Canada's getting to the point where, like, unless you're a chick with a dick, fucking hell, I don't think there's a
Well,
place for you in Canada no more.
I have no sympathy for Canada.
No sympathy.
None. Zero. Listen, these motherfuckers go from 0 to war crime in one. I'm sorry, mate. That's how long it takes them. That Geneva suggestion that you've read about that we all abide by for the most part, they just take that as a minor suggestion, dude. Go look at every war Canada has been in. That's America's hat, right? That's that state that don't pay us taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure I had the right spot. Yeah. They immediately turn to war crimes in every armed conflict. They don't play that Geneva Convention shit. They just deny it afterwards and apologize a lot. That's why they keep saying they're sorry.
People following the Geneva Convention these days. I don't think there are they? I mean, Israel.
Above board. You know what I mean. That's the thing. That's what I'm getting at, though. Canada doesn't hide the fact at all. We all at least have PR departments to say we're not. Canada doesn't even do that. They just go, I'm sorry,
Another thing I keep on hearing, Rosno, is people trying to I've been listening to a lot of people defending Israel's actions and things like this, and one thing they seem to use a lot and reference to is World War II. Like, I don't think World War II even comes into comparison with what, so I think it's a real shit comparison, right?
It's not a good one.
It's a shit one. It's real shit. It's real shit. Oh, you had to carpet bomb Germany. You had to do this. Oh, you had to carry a bomb in Germany till you ridded it of fucking Hitler and all this bollock. That's just a shit comparison.
It's not really an accurate at all comparison. I mean,
and all this river to the sea shit. Oh, yeah, can't say river to the sea because it means fucking ridding the world of all Jews. Bullshit, because Israel's leader has been heard on a couple of occasions recently using exactly the same terminology.
I got another thing about that whole Israeli question, too. At no point in time in recorded history have all the Jews been in the same place.
Never.
Not once. Never. That Israel was a gift to the essentially Jewish ethnicity, to a religion. It was gift wrapped by the powers that be, essentially to give them a place to centralize. I thought that was nuts. I'm like, this is like the most hunted race of people on earth since the dawn of time, and you're going to get them all together in one place. What a brilliant idea.
What else do I hear?
Anyway.
Apparently Hamas started this on October the 7th. That's another thing I keep on hearing. It wasn't us that started this war. It was Hamas on October the 7th. But this didn't start on October the 7th, did it? I mean,
I don't know.
The Palestinian people have been oppressed now for fucking a very long time. Very long time. And to be occupied in the way they are, I mean, I don't even think that's lawful in itself, is it? It wouldn't be accepted anywhere else in the world. Imagine someone trying to turn around and say, "Oh, we're going to oppress fucking England, and we're going to say who comes in, who comes out, what kind of education you get."
Yep.
I mean, would just never be tolerated. Never. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think it's a lot of shit going on in the world right now.
I've
and I would
always
have thought,
like
for
this.
the Jews, people that seem to like to cry a lot since the Second World War, I mean, like, you would think that they'd fucking be a bit more sympathetic, right? Or even empathetic.
Empathy doesn't seem to be an aspect in the world much anymore for whatever reason. more people are more interested in serving themselves or serving some other self-serving organization, which is really weird to me. Like, anytime you get a collectivist organization together to do collective type bargaining, you will end up with natural communists at the head of that organization, and there is virtually nothing you can do about that. You don't believe me? I can give you examples.
Go on, give us an example.
Okay, I'm gonna start with a couple of anecdotal ones, but I think you can follow the logic through. I don't think it'd be too difficult. Food banks. I'm in the American South. And American South, we don't really have as many of the social programs as they have up north because the winters aren't so hard and local work is a lot easier to come by, like year round. So the homeless situation is not as much of an issue in the rural areas because they're just camping, if that makes any sense. For that reason, we have a denser population of like church or local municipality run food banks. They're all over the place. Go to any random food bank and ask them what association they're with, and they'll give you the name of a particular association, whichever one it is, whether it's the New Lights Kingdom or the whatever it is. It'll either be named after a town or it'll be named after some church or a bigger church, and it's really a big group of churches or something like that.
Yeah.
When you go research whatever association is putting together this food bank, you will find a almost unilateral direct association online between this and every single communist platform you can find anywhere. At the very least, it will be hard left socialist sites. It'll redirect to all kinds of weird socialist and communist sites, but what you won't find on almost any of them is a redirect to some, I don't know, a copy of the Constitution or, you know, the Andrew Jackson papers. You won't find none of that on any of it because you'll find a bunch of Mao inspired sloganism that doesn't credit the slogans to the right people. Like it might say Andrew Jackson said something that Mao said. It'd just be on a freaking website made by some freaking church nanny somewhere. It's wild, dude. And these places get a complete tax exemption status because they're associated with churches and doing quote unquote charitable work. These charitable works are paid for through donations that aren't taxed. Those non-tax donations are apparently being rerouted directly through into left-wing socialist agendas that, I mean, I don't know specifically. I would have to look at a specific group and research it out. But the ones I found, and I don't really feel comfortable mentioning names, but you could probably guess if you looked around a little bit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that happens everywhere, whether it's a union or HOA or a freaking garden collective. These types of things, due to the collectivist nature of the establishing foundation principle, you will find leftist weirdos in charge of these after the first generation. Call it the Karen complex.
The Karen complex.
Well, these things are all generally populated by vote, right? So, you know, when you have a full democracy like that, all you have to do is be the most well-known one in the vote. You don't necessarily have to be the best candidate. You just have to be the one that people recognize their name. You don't really know what an HOA is. Do y'all have HOAs over there? Homeowners associations?
Oh, what? Sorry.
Do y'all have homeowners association type things over there? These aren't council houses. These are neighborhoods where all the owners of different properties get together and vote on the bylaws of the local environment. You know, it's supposed to fight gentrification and slumism and stuff like that. What it actually does,
That's the equivalent of our council, really.
Okay. What it actually does is give these overbearing, litigious Karens, whether they're male or female, white, black, Puerto Rican, it does not matter. These people who want to tell everyone how to live, a platform by which to do it, and a framework by which to find you if you don't. And so if you sign up to an HOA when you move into a neighborhood, you pretty much have to sign up for the HOA or they will vote to not sell the house to you. Most HOAs are overseen like a dictatorship by a single individual. And this individual, yay or nays, everything that comes across the collective desk. And so if you're kind of a butthole or you have a YouTube channel people don't like or whatever, or that the leader, dear leader, doesn't like in the HOA, you will start catching fines for every piece of trash, every leaf that blows across your yard. If your car's 2 inches over a particular, if there's too many cars and you're too many lights on one side of the house, there's just a billion ways they can go after you. And they do. Okay,
Grim.
residents association. Right.
No, do you recognize the person we got backstage?
I can't. He's not here. He's doing a thing.
I thought Grim was just there. Sorry, I thought I just heard him. How weird.
What is the name?
I don't know. It's in fucking Chinese writing. Marcelo Rabuch. Marcelo Rabuch.
My fellow rabbit. I've never heard of it.
Can't say I have either.
Well, let them up and let's see what they hear. Speak.
No. Hello, you can hear me? This is good?
We can hear you, bro.
Good. I basically, for me, it's now 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually talking to you guys from Japan. I'm not Japanese, but I live here in Japan. So.
Japanese writing. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, I think I've been in your channel before. That's why.
Maybe Grimm's. Maybe Grimm's.
Marcelo Time. Usually the name is Marcelo Time.
What's going on there, bro?
Good. I mean, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, usually I saw you guys live. I was, there isn't that many, I would say, live channels in YouTube that participate with panelists. So nice to see you guys here. I usually come from another live community that they usually have live shows with panelists, usually in daily basis. But it would be fun to combine you guys somehow, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? There isn't that many people in the live streams.
Yeah, maybe, bro. Maybe. What landed you in Japan? And where are you originally from, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my mom.
Yes.
Well, my mom is Brazilian. Yes. Here is the thing. I'm going to say this with a small laugh. I don't want to go into the politics issue, but I am Israeli in background.
Sorry, mate. You're what? You're Israeli?
In background, yes.
That's all right.
Takes all kind to make the world go round, bro.
For real. Never apologize for being who you are, innit? You know?
Well, look, I mean...
but how come you ended up in Japan? I mean, Israel, Japan, that's a bit of a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
Right?
If I tell you a bit more of my life, it's going to sound more trolling than ridiculous. Because basically, I mean, I born in Italy. My mom is Brazilian. My father is Moroccan. What else am I going to say? I came to Israel when I was 7 years old. And the side of my father, they actually moved to Canada. So I used to be between Israel and Canada a lot. And I think 17 years ago, I think I decided I want to go to Canada, marry a Canadian, and instead of Canadian, I find a Japanese, and then here we go, It's things that you usually don't plan, I guess, right? And then it just come to you.
That's pretty beautiful, dude. That's actually really sweet. That's an unbelievably sweet tale. That's awesome.
Hey, I could find a Swedish girl and talk to you now from Sweden. I mean, things happen, right?
Do you still have family in Israel?
Sorry, mate.
You still have family in Israel?
Yes, my mom is still there.
Wait, what's your opinions on what's going on over there right now?
Oh man, I mean, I have friends. To be honest, I have friends from both sides. I hear always both sides. Regarding the country, the Israel itself is not paradise. We have a lot of problems. Always. Since I was a kid, there always is economic problems. Always the government steal a lot of money. You guys probably familiar with all these stories, right? I mean, they stealing money. The minimum salary is always too low. Pay too much taxes. All the bullshit. So always is like that. Always elections. Always they promise you the world and they don't give you shit. Hold
on. Are you telling me that our elections are possibly questionable? When did this happen? Like, this is like, holy shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think worldwide we are in the same shit.
Ragnar, what's this channel about? Depends what channel you're on, Ragnar. We're streaming through too. So we're on Grimm's and we're on obviously mine, the Bear Britain Audits channel. So it depends which one you're on about. I'd say one's quite self-explanatory. The other one, maybe not so much.
It's basically a mystery. I still can't tell you exactly what Grimm's channel about. Grimm's channel is about getting as far away from YouTube as possible and using YouTube to do it. Accurate?
You ask me?
I'm asking Bear. I mean, he would.
No, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
That's about it, ain't it? Yeah, okay.
Ragnar says Bear Britain. I mean, it's an auditing channel, but we do a little bit of everything. Bit of auditing, bit of on the ground journalism. We set some lives up. Sometimes we have serious talk. Sometimes not so serious.
Yeah, remind me like most of the communities that I am on.
Oh yeah. You click the link at the top of the chat, and it'll be dropped in backstage. You need a camera and a microphone for it to register proper, and you can attempt to speak English on this panel here if Bear allows you to come up. So we've got the cover up currently, so no visuals. Essentially, you got to protect the channel first.
For sure. It's a bit of a shame, really. Like, this is another thing where, like, the people that come in and spoil it for everyone. Like, you shouldn't really have to put banners up. You should be able to have people on, welcome them on. But unfortunately, there's a select few that have fucking made that difficult.
But then you've also got honest mistakes that take place where homie's trying to talk to you on a cell phone and it falls under the bed and you get his, naked torso lady laying under the bed. It was never intended to be put on camera, but it did happen. And there it is. And now you've got a strike.
Man, I pass a lot of shit like that also, I mean, I know exactly what you mean.
Diva, man, good to see you. Grimm's
Diva.
about, I think he's stuffing his face, man.
I hope he is.
I think he's stuffing his face with some food.
That's what they call it anyway.
Bring Miss Luck. Big up, Miss Luck. What's going on? You good?
didn't mean any of those stupid jokes.
His audio is low, I guess.
I guess it took a little bit.
It is difficult. I mean, when you're running a panel like this, and you, like, for instance, this isn't my panel, right? I'm Caucasian Sasquatch. I am a guest on the panel. I know Grim Bear doesn't like me, but it's okay because we like not liking each other. It's fine.
I never said.
I can't stand Snowy.
I never said I like you, you old fart.
Yeah, well. Let's look. Hello and welcome to the new channel guest.
Grim, do you know? Well, apparently he's been on maybe before.
I don't recognize the writing.
That's Japanese, apparently.
Japanese, man. Get with the program.
Okay, so we're now turning Japanese. I mean, it's a throwback from the 80s. What's the problem?
Well, technically, he's Israeli, but he lives in Japan.
Israeli Canadian.
Yes.
I always say, hang on a second, I've always said that this should be an international hosting service, and that's what it is.
Well,
Our trouble is, let me explain. There's too many people out there who are willing to bring certain channels down just for the sake of it. Hence the reason why we've got all this security. I mean, I'd love to turn around and say, remove, but I don't recognize you. Don't take it the wrong way. I talk to a lot of different people, and certainly I would recognize that type of writing. It's possible that we have spoken before, but I don't remember. But I do have short-term memory loss.
He is really old.
Yes, he's really old. Think about that.
Oh,
God. Just think what you just said is really old.
I'm from the South, and we run our words together. Mm-hmm.
Well, Graham, I promise not to show my boobs.
Oh, that's fine. Don't have a problem with that. I'm thinking more of Snowy.
So easy.
Devo, great to see you. Mike Wynn.
Come on, Grim, get your boobs out.
What?
Come on, I said, come on, Grim, get your boobs out.
I'm not as fat as you.
Yeah, they might not be as big a boobs, but you got boobs, right?
I don't have man boobs.
You got a solid A cup. I mean,
embrace it, man. Embrace it.
Embrace it. Do you think? Oh, right. No. Nice win. Ragnar. That's how you pronounce it. I can never pronounce your name right. Ragnar. That's it. Thank you.
Ragnar.
I try to say it phonetically sometimes. Say what you say, not what you mean.
Right? Does that sound Russian, or is that just me?
Well,
Ragnar is Norse.
Huh?
It's Norse. Ragnar Lothbrok, son of Odin.
It's North? What, like fucking the North Pole?
No, I said Norway, you dumb shit.
Goddamn Asgard, the freaking Valar, and like, dude. I'm sorry. Thor, Odin, Frigga.
Norway. Norway.
Vikings, you dick.
Norse.
Yeah,
Norse.
Right. Actually, you're right. Viking name, isn't it?
International we are, and I'm Danish living in Scotland.
I missed some of that.
Never ever will miss the Scottish out. Miss Look.
No, but you're talking about Vikings. I'm a Viking.
Well, the Romans didn't go into there, did they? It was the Vikings.
Can somebody translate for me?
Got some subtitles, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm sure she's talking to me, but she's just so cute.
No, what it is, it's listen. You got to have a. I mean,
being international with an Israel, being in Japan, and you in Britain and him in USA, And then I'm in Scotland, but I'm Danish and I'm called German by blood.
Okay, I understood Danish, German, and Scotland. Did anybody get
She
the
lives
rest
in
of it?
Scotland.
Okay.
All right.
Holy shit, you have people from all over the world. Me, Japan, Scotland, England, America, I guess.
Yeah, and she's from Danish heritage.
Oh,
Thank you.
Because my
Danish.
granddad.
I did hear something about Germany, but I didn't quite catch it.
You know,
Your
that's
mic
why
is a
I'm
bit
bad.
low. I'm going to see if I can alter it.
25% good and 25% bad. Or 25% naughty. That's my German side.
you can increase her volume in StreamYard.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Why has it gone back down again? Right, okay. I've turned it up to the maximum, so hopefully we'll be able to hear you.
So I have
Try
nothing
again, Miss Look.
If I had something against you, I wouldn't have made a joke about you in chat.
That's got it. I can hear you now.
I'll choose the ones I like. That's so simple.
Miss Look,
If I don't teach you, I
I've
don't like.
spoken to you a number of times and you've never, ever said a crossword. Maybe
I can't. So,
maybe with some of my guests, but never with me.
I don't think
Smell-
I ever said a crossword to any of your guests either. I haven't had it. Not in here. I have on other channels had a bit of a tumble once in a while.
Uh-huh.
On our social media once in a while, in DMs once in a while. But on your channel, people
Yeah.
behave and
Well, we try to behave.
you know what I
Yes.
mean. You behave to that degree that I haven't had to.
Yes.
And with you, it doesn't even matter. And that's what one thing I really liked about you. It doesn't matter if you don't see me for 3 months in your channel. You're just happy when I go to come in. So it's nice.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome. Everybody's welcome, including UK Transparency. Talking of
And
which,
sometimes
hello,
you come
UK.
Oh no, double stirred up.
tell that your coloring is too heavy for my brain at that certain time. So I just work, click like, and jump away. But
Yes,
I'm
God,
going
it's
to
very
call on my
good to see you, bad.
Thanks for
But
coming
this is
back,
the first time.
Conspiracy. By the way, if anybody wants to jump up on the panel and have a chat to us, please do so. Even you, UK, too.
Even you, UK.
Well, I don't want to single anybody out, do I? UKT.
No, sorry, but usually you're streaming only these hours?
Normally, I don't stream at this time of the day.
Yeah, normally it's later.
Normally, it's 8:15 onwards. It's just that there was, at the time, there was nobody alive, and I fancied a chat with a few people. Didn't know who, and I ended up with Bear coming up. I ended up with, I can't pronounce your name, I'm not going to, Miss Luck, and Snowy Sasquatch. Because I never plan anything, by the way. Never really. Someone says, people say, oh, so what's the topic? Don't know yet. I'm started.
Why don't I see please comment? Yeah.
Whoever turns up, they dictate what the topic is.
Are you streaming on more than 2 platforms? Or more than 2 channels?
Yeah, with streaming even.
been Marcelo, so sources are all indicated as Brent. What's it like living in Japan?
Wow, I am here now. It's funny. I just realized yesterday that I'm here already 17 years. I actually thought it was less than that, but yeah. Is what, talking about you get used to live here, so it's almost like anywhere else. But the one thing that actually pop very much is the safety, the security that you feel here. In Japan, you don't have so much crime, like theft crime style. So you can feel very safety to, I don't know, wear some jewelry outside, I guess, or expensive watches or things like that, and you feel very safety here in that spec.
Stricter country, yeah? Stricter laws, stricter way of life.
Mm.
Yeah? So that's true? Am I right? I mean, I don't know. I've never been to Japan. So.
No, very. Also, people are very polite. You can call it fake polite or whatever, but you see everybody's quiet on the trains. Everybody touching the phones, but nobody really talk on the phone. On the trains or on the bus. So they have this. You see there's a lot of. They keep rules like not to make too much noise, to be more quiet, to be more nice. So yeah, I guess I mean, I now, after the COVID, I actually didn't travel overseas now close to 4 years, I guess. So I always, when I go outside, I always feel a little bit shocked of the culture, after being here so long. So I need to start traveling again. But yeah, it's a nice place to go visit. You're going to see it's almost like Star Trek, when you go to a different planet. So here we go. Yeah.
I can't say anything different. I'm going to try the American flavor in a couple of weeks. See what that's like. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to give this another 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to close it down. As I say, I decided to go live because there's nobody else around. I fancy the chit chat. It's not often that you'll find me doing that. Normally it's more structured in the time, same day, etc. But you know how life gets you down occasionally.
Yes.
That's where I've been at the moment. So apologies to the regular watchers, subscribers, etc. I just want to say thank you to all the new ones.
Till Danny. Nice. I know the guy.
Everyone keeps asking me what the stream's about. I just fucking went live with Grim. It was his idea. Grim, what's the live about?
I have no idea. You tell me.
Yeah. By the way, Till Danny is British like you, mate. So
the thing is, I'll tell you what it's about. Okay, because it's about to close in about 10 minutes, right? Well, my side is anyway.
No, it's interesting to know what the channel is about because it come with me from a different communities that I want to know.
Okay, so what is the Grim Reaper Network about? Okay, it's about people banding together to get a better life, right? And stand up for their rights. Because everybody's got rights. I don't care where you are. You've got rights. and not enough people do. The rights are being taken.
You don't have no fucking rights, man.
What?
Well, they're very, very slim. Like, you know,
I didn't hear what you said.
very small few rights in some
Where?
countries.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you still got rights.
I mean, fucking, where do you want to start? I mean, where do you want to start? I mean, rights.
Do you know what? I was asked a question, I gave an answer, and it's wrong.
Just trying to open conversation here. Like, are you on about the standard of like rights that you live, which you know?
Whoa. There. Stop trying to confuse me. You know I'm in a fragile state of mind. Right.
I confused myself. So
yeah,
let's go.
Okay. Let's start from a baseline. Everybody has a basic human right. That is to live. You also have a basic right to die. They're the two things which are certain. The bit in the middle depends on where you live. Right? Mm-hmm. Over in America, they have a constitution. That constitution, in my opinion, is by far the best thing which was ever written down. And I believe every American should live by. Right? Certainly the first and the second. Right? The problem with the majority of other countries is that they don't have the same standard of a constitution, right? It's permissions given to people from the state where they live or their government. Now, you touched on something earlier regarding Japan, where it's safe to go out. Now, is that due to legislation and severe penalties if you don't adhere to what the government says or what you've been told you can do, what you can't do? Or is it due to a way of upbringing, religion, belief in martial arts and self-discipline, etc.? Right? Whatever it is, it works until somebody doesn't like it and starts arguing against it and says, we don't want censorship, for argument's sake. We want the right to free speech. We want the right to protest and to petition our government, etc. Right? Whichever way you want to call it, right? And that's when you get the backlash from people, right? In the UK, and this is an argument regarding a difference of opinion. I say in Great Britain, not UK, but in Great Britain, we don't have any rights. We have right. This is where we agree. Hang on, let me finish. We are given rights by the government. They're not our rights. Right? There are whatever is given to you can be taken away. And that is what the government want to do by changing the Bill of Rights, which we have in Great Britain, so that they can export people to Rwanda, right? Or transport, because they've been told they can't do it because it's illegal. So they're changing the law so they can, or attempting to. Bringing out a law to say that anybody of a certain age can never ever smoke, can never have any tobacco products at all, right, is, in my opinion, an infringement on their rights, because they don't have the right to choose. It's been taken away by the state. In both cases, it means that the police, the stormtroopers, will be given certain powers which will allow them not to have a search warrant to break into somebody's house or to stop and search people. So they're going to abuse it, making most people's lives bad, to say the least, or a damn sight worse. So standing up for your rights, going out, making a film, filming the police in action, good, bad, or indifferent, while they're working, while they're on duty, shouldn't be an issue, because it's freedom of the press. Now, I don't know whether over in Japan, whether you got the press have got a right to turn up somewhere, or they've got to wait until they're invited. So again, I don't know much about Japan, so I can't say.
So if you're talking about immigration in Japan is very tough. I mean, the only way basically that you can be here is, I guess, I think is like a working visa, or how we say a working of a let's say if you have a business here maybe, and of course if you get married, but beside that, I think the regulation is very tough here.
Well, you talked before, and you never really got a chance to answer when you asked him basically why he felt that it was safer and that over there. Why do you think that is? Do you think that is down to the laws, or maybe the sentences that get given out to people that go to prison? What do you think it is?
Wow, to be honest, I never was in prison here. Hard for me to say. I mean, I believe. Look, I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe prison also in the state, I guess, or in the UK is not that present. It's not that fun to be there as well. So I think. I don't know if this is the fear of punishment or prison or.
Okay, let's take for instance, because I don't know how much you know the justice system over there, but let's take something like murder. If you murdered someone in there and over there you're convicted, what kind of sentence are you looking at for murder?
I think they have the life sentence, and I think they also have the death penalty as well.
Okay, there we are. So the death penalty exists. There we are. That makes a big difference. I look at this, and you look at like Saudi Arabia. People say the same there. Dubai, go to these kind of countries, man. And
Dubai. I have a friend there. I have a friend that lives in Abu Dhabi, and he told me that there is way more safe. You know, you can put like I don't know, like a golden watch on the table in a coffee shop and go away and come, let's say 2 hours later, and you're still going to see your gold watch in the table. You know, like
correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that an enforcement thing? Aren't these laws stringently enforced? Absolutely and immediately.
Is almost no in Dubai is like the sentence that you're going to be in there is going to be horrific, and also this is like they call it haram. Is like a kind of is a very strict shame to steal something. This is like a very very ugly punishment. So nobody even dare to do that. Even tourists don't dare to do that, I guess.
Right, but it's the enforcement, the immediate enforcement of the law that gives that particular cultural enforcement. It's not. It's religiously enforced.
Before I miss this comment, sorry, Sasquatch. Japan doesn't accept any immigrants, legal or illegal, can marry into a family, but that's the only way in. Even in a global market, the Japan passport is the most valuable and can travel to any country, apparently. Also, Certi says, prison in the UK is probably a better way of living. 3 meals a day, free gas, water and electricity. It's almost like having a holiday for adults, pretty much. Certi ain't far off wrong there, to be fair.
Not to mention the fact that they can have access to game consoles, TV, DVDs, whatever, over here. It's
long ago, I was sat watching a stream not that long ago, and some fucking lad's just in his cell on a live stream from his fucking cell. I'm like, like that's meant to be prison, man. You know, my guy's up in there selling that, doing a live stream to his people. Like, shit.
You guys remember the TV show Prison Break?
Yeah, yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Remember it, didn't watch it.
Yeah. But when you think about prisons to be like that, getting rape every minute in your ass, and things like that. So then you think, you know what? Fuck me dead. I don't want to rob nothing. But when you tell me that a prison look like a country club, so I mean, people say, what? Fuck.
I guess it depends on what type of thing relaxes you. If you enjoy that sort of thing, I guess it could be quite an interesting layover.
Mm.
But I'm not one of those. But I guess there might be people out there who would enjoy it.
I mean, I don't agree with censorship, and I think in some countries there's too much censorship.
But we say no censorship at all. Is that what you're saying? No censorship.
No, that's not what I said.
Yeah, you just said.
I don't agree. I don't agree with censorship, right? Yeah. And there are some countries where there's far too much censorship. Where the government decides what you can and what you cannot view. They have control of the internet. They block you from accessing certain things that they feel it doesn't meet their requirements.
But hasn't it always been that way?
Sorry?
Don't you think it's always been that way? It's always been that way.
No,
Just
because
make it more obvious to us now because of technology and because of that.
Censorship has always been that way. Right?
You speak out against any government throughout history, and your head's on the block, man.
Yeah, but because of the internet, which was invented initially for military, and it was the Americans that put it all together. Thank you for that, America. We have actually noticed more censorship, and what I'm trying to say is, if you cherish your freedom of speech, etc., then you can't have state censorship. If you value your right to think privately in your own brain, right, then that is the next thing which is going to be censored. And I'm not talking about these chips, etc. I'm talking about a law which comes into effect where in an area you can't protest, and that also includes silent prayer.
Have you not seen? Well, who sent me that? It might have been UK Transport. Who sent me that? Someone sent me
woman who was arrested.
Legislation coming into play with the Secret Service Act.
Yeah, currently any council can stop an area from having any protests at all, or any public protest or private protests. And a woman got done for privately praying for what she described the poor souls and the women who went through abortion at this abortion clinic, which is no longer an abortion clinic. But the council of that area put in this ban, which meant no one could protest. There was literally double yellow lines all over the place and red lines to stop people from parking, because you couldn't park within a certain length, within a certain distance either. And this woman went there and she got arrested because she admitted she was standing there in private prayer for the women and the babies, the women that had gone through there, and the babies that were lost. Now, whether you're pro or anti, right, my concern isn't that. My concern is the state telling you what you can and cannot think in an area. And that's what that boiled down to, in my opinion. And that was about 12 months ago. I never did catch up on whether or not it actually got to court.
But by the way, in the state, I'm not familiar with, for example, strokes. Like strokes are popular, very popular actually in Europe, especially in France and in Israel. You see a lot of strokes. Let's say, the train stations stop working. Until they getting their demands, or the post office stop working until they getting their demands. Like public strokes. Let's say the schools have strokes. I never heard about strokes like that in the state. Does in America you guys do strokes like that as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I understand what you mean. I just, as I say, I'm against anything which restricts what little rights we already have, because they are doing their best to take that away from us. I mean, back in the 80s, you had a tyrannical government that took away the rights of people who were trade unions, and turned around and said you can't have more than 6 people at a picket. And the next strike that came out, and there was a picket line, something like 8,000 people wore a T-shirt that said, "I'm the 7th picket."
Wow.
But these days, because we've grown up, and when I say we've grown up, I'm talking about the generation before me, right, or post-80s, they've grown up not knowing that they have a right to strike. Whether you're in a union or you're not in a union is relevant, but you have more protection with a union than you did than without. You have the right to withdraw your labour, and it is used in some places. Even now, I mean, we've had a series of inconvenient train strikes where the drivers have gone on strike, and the way that the press put it is that they are inconveniencing the public by withdrawing their manual service. But they don't think about the fact that for 3 days they're giving up the wages because they believe in something. They don't explain that. So the facts don't always come through. And there's always a spin on it, which is why I don't trust mainstream media. But
media is very biased.
Yes, I'm all for everybody being able to protect what little rights they've got, and where possible, literally taking the rights and sitting around and saying, "I don't need your permission. I don't need your permission to wear this T-shirt. I don't need your permission to video the police. I don't need your permission to put something in the press."
We're not watching American news, and
don't do that. That's propaganda. I mean, it's not worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But from both sides, when you see CNN or Fox, you don't really have one news that honest. Because the let's say CNN is lefty to the bone, and Fox is righty to the bone, and then you don't have nothing honest in the middle.
That is not accurate at all. Fox is about 2 degrees right of center.
Okay.
it's right, like in the shadow of the left. I mean, it's standing there staring up at the left narrative, going, "I really wish we could say that." But anyway, go ahead.
I remember when newspapers, they printed the news, they printed the facts. There was no slant at all, whether that be left or right. There was no bias. And then the big corporations moved in, and the big owners moved in or took over and changed the landscape. Rupert Murdoch is probably the best known idiot on the earth who was in the newspaper game, right? And he ruined what was once known as Fleet Street. and took away the good reputation of the news in print, and introduced popular newspapers with Page 3 and things like this to attract people. It wasn't nothing to do with news. It's to do with propaganda and to do with ensuring that whichever
narrative.
Right. Yeah.
Either they supported or they didn't, and they were the ones that made sure that prime ministers toppled or they got back into power. Margaret Thatcher conveniently arranged for the Falklands conflict. They called it a war. It wasn't. It was a conflict, but they supported her. Even though the actual conflict was wrong, they didn't. There was two sides. Yeah. That petition's out there. But anyway, I'm going to bow. I did say I was going to bow out earlier, but I didn't. We got into something else, as is usually the case. I will be back, not tonight, but I'm going to go.
Can I just say as well quickly, the link that I've put in the chat, if everyone could sign, that would be much appreciated for a friend, trying to get as many signatures as possible.
I'm going to read that before I sign
it. Obviously, you can see it there. Victims of controlling and coercive behaviour. So domestic abuse, not just for women or men, it's for both sides. So it's just as important whether you're a man or you're a woman. You can be a victim of it regardless of your gender. So if everyone could sign that and maybe even give it a share, that would be much appreciated.
I would also say that just on a follow-up to this, the victims of domestic abuse isn't just the man or the woman; it's also the children, and also the parents of each, because the parents will 9 times out of 10 ish take sides of who they believe is right, which is either their son or their daughter, and they only ever get one side. But there's people who do fall victim to this, or the survivors. They're not victims. I don't like using the word victims. The survivors, they do not get the support they need.
Something that
I'm a warrior.
Something that confused me. Something that confused me and called me old school. I'm going to say I understand women and men. I respect how we say if you are same-sex lover, a different sex. If you want to get dressed like a woman or a woman want to get dressed as a man, a sex transfer, no problem. I accept it all. But what I don't understand is the extra how we say rise, the extra demands, things that, because things starting to look like things completely get out of control here. When normally when you have a washroom, a man and a woman, now you have a transition, and now you have another one and another one. Things getting like bananas now. I mean, in school, in public places. I mean, don't you guys think that things got a bit too much crazy?
I'm not sure where you get what you're referring to. Sorry, it might be translation.
No, the whole transition and the whole noise that making now between because I like to understand things more simple.
Well,
man,
okay,
woman,
so all right, yeah. So at the moment, in short, you've got people who like the opposite sex, the same sex, and then you got people who want to be the other sex that they are.
I don't agree with that. See, I don't agree with that.
Let me finish, Bear. It's the political way of thinking at the moment, and the mass media is all for it, right? However, what they don't do is take stock. A lot of problems start within the home, right? For starters. And it's not so bad here, but I've heard stories from other countries where they've turned around and they've said that their 4-year-old no longer wants to be a boy or a girl. They want to be the opposite. And there's no law stopping them.
And this is crazy because normally, you know, I actually do believe that until you are maybe 12 or 15, you don't really know what you are or what you want. You know, I mean, first become adult. After that, you know what? And if these are disagreement with what I say, you definitely don't know if you're gay or not when you're 4 years old. Sorry, this is ridiculous. So,
Hey, Marcelo, change the subject a minute, man, because I'm a nosy guy and I'm quite curious. So I go, I went and had a look at your channel, Marcelo Time, yeah?
Yeah.
You like your watches?
Yes. We are community. You know what? It's actually funny you say that because we are watch lovers, watch collectors, but then when we do live streams, it's very similar to you guys. You know, we're talking everything like politics, all kind of bullshit. We do have a laugh. You know, it's almost like an open bar, if it makes sense. You know, when you go to a pub and
videos are my videos, but my lives don't always reflect on what the channel's about, right? You know. These are more about just coming together and having a chat with people, to be honest.
Exactly.
When we throw them up like this, it's just, you know, put the link out. Anyone can come up.
And you know what is funny that you said that? Because in even so that I'm watches and we're doing live streams, most of my friends, they don't even have watches. You know, we have a lot of people that jump in our panels. They don't collect watches. They don't have watches. They don't care about watches. You know, but they become this community thing, right? You know.
Yeah, for sure. So are you a bit of a watch fanatic? You like your watches, or is it something you do for a living, or?
You know, I bought some watches. I have, you know, when you buy some watches and then you check, the same thing when you check about cameras or you check about cars, and then you find this group of people that also making live streams. So there is guys there that are serious in watch collector. They are serious in, I guess they have thousands of dollars in watches, but then you become a part of that community and you open a channel and you make videos about that because, you know, it become kind of fun, become something live streams, you know, we doing that. Become fun.
I get it, bro.
But thank you for checking my channel. Thank you.
Yeah, man, you got to subscribe for me anyway. You subscribe to your channel.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much, buddy.
I have to try and catch some of your live streams.
Well, I just want to say thanks to everybody who came up and took part. Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. Caucasian, I shall see you soon. Miss Luck, thank you. Hang on a second, I've got to do this because I can't resist it. Hello, Mellows. Thanks for coming up, but we're actually closing the stream. Thanks for being on time. And he thinks I'm joking.
Big up, Mellow.
He thinks I'm joking.
I know you're not joking. I was fast asleep.
I know. I didn't want to wake you. So, do you know what? I don't know what the guy from Japan.
Yes.
Thank you, Marcelo. Thank you. I didn't catch your name.
Marcelo. The name is Marcelo. I'm not Japanese.
Marcelo.
Yeah, I'm in Japan, but I'm not
The guy from
Japanese.
Japan that's actually from Israel. Confucius says, talking of being confused, Bear, as always, thank you so much for supporting and coming up. I've no doubt I'll catch you in the next few days. And I'll catch up with you, Mello, shortly. But cheers, everybody. Are you staying or are you going there?
I'll stay for a minute.
You want to stay? No, I mean, do you want to stay on the live or shall I end the stream on both channels?
You can actually, yeah, we'll shut it down. It's at the 3-hour mark.
Yeah, all right, no worries. All right then, folks. Cheers, everybody. Take care. Thanks to everybody in both chats for your words of wisdom, and I'm sure Bear will take it on board eventually. Cheers for now, guys. Peace and respect.
Bye.
Bye bye.